Hi, this is Akanksha Thorat and Ajay Sheke from VIT Chennai. Today I am going to explain the system calls of the Linux. First is the get PID. What is the get PID? PID is the command which is used to get the process identification. The syntax of the PID is nothing but PID underscore T get PID in bracket word. It returns the process ID of the current process. The next is the fork. The fork, this system call is used for create a new process, that is the child process, which is created by the parent. The syntax of this system call is return type PID underscore T fork in bracket word, that is no argument. It does not take any argument and it return a integer value. If the value is negative, the creation of the child process is unsuccessful. If the value is positive, the value is positive, then the new child process is created successfully. And if it returns 0, then return to newly created child process. The next is the connect. The connect system call is initiate a connection on a circuit. It is used in the TCP protocol. The syntax of this connect system call is int connect and in bracket number of arguments such as a integer socket fd, const struct sock address and address, and socket length underscore t address length. The connect system call connects the socket referred by the file descriptor, that is the socket fd, to the address specified by the adder. The adder len argument specifies the size of the address. The socket fd argument determines the format of the address in the adder. The connection-based protocol socket may successfully connect only once, but the connectionless protocol socket may use connect multiple times to chance their association. The return type of the return value of the connect system call, if it gets success, then it returns 0. Either error occurred, it return 1. The next system call is chown. That is chown change the ownership of the particular file. The syntax of the chown system call is return type is a int and keyword chown in bracket number of a argument, that is path and owner name and group, which is nothing but the system call change the owner and the group of the file specified by the path or by the file descriptor, that is fd. Only the privileged process may change the owner of the file. The owner of the file may change the group of the file to any group of which that owner is a member. Here path is nothing but the directory path. The next system call is the ch directory, that is the change the working directory. The syntax of this is integer chdir const character pointer path. This system call change the current working directory to the specified in a path. The return value of this system call is 0 for the success. And the next system call is the chroot. Chroot changes the root directory of the calling process to the specified in a path. Only privileged process may call chroot. The syntax of the chroot is integer chroot and the path. This directory will be used for path name beginning with the slash. Slash is indicate that the root. The root directory is inherited by all the children of the calling process. The return value of the chroot is the 0 for the success and -1 for the unsuccessful, and it sets the error appropriately. The next is the close system call. It closes the file descriptor. The syntax of the close is int close and the file descriptor. The close closes the file descriptor so that it no longer to refer to any file and may be reuses. Int fd indicate that the file descriptor. The return value of the close is 0 for success and -1 for the error. The next system call is the flock. Flock that is nothing but which applies the lock to the open file or remove the lock to the open file. The syntax of the flock is int flock file descriptor and which operation you want to perform. That means which lock you want to apply or remove. Apply or remove an advisory lock on the open file specified by the FD. The parameter operation is one of the following. The lock sh. It places the shared lock. More than one process may hold a shared lock for a given file at a given time. Lock ex. Place an exclusive lock. Only one process may hold an exclusive lock for a given file at a given time. And a lock un. Remove an existing lock held by this process. The return value of this flock system call is a 0 for success and -1 for the error. The next system call is the fpathconf. The fpathconf system call get configuration value for a file. The syntax of a fpathconf is long. This is the return type. Fpathconf in bracket file descriptor and the name. It gets the value for the configuration option name for the open file descriptor fd. The next system call is the get directory entries. It will get the directories entry in the file system independent format. The syntax of the get dir entries is nothing but int get dir entries in bracket file descriptor, buffer, number of bytes and the base EP. The get directory entries function read the directory entries from the directory referenced by the file descriptor fd into the buffer. This into the buffer pointed by buffer in a file system -- independent format. Up to n byte of a data will be transferred. The n byte parameter must be greater than or equal to the block size. The return value of the get dir entries is nothing but the it returns the number of bytes transferred for the successful, and otherwise it returns -1. The next.
Hello friends, I am Ajay. The next system call is link system call. Link system call make a new name to the file. It takes argument as a old path and new. Link creates a new link to an existing file. This is a new name may be used exactly as the old one for any operation. The link return value of link system call. On success it returns 0, on error it returns -1. The next system call is L6. The L6 system call is a reposition to write file offset. It takes argument as a file descriptor, offset and whence. The L6 function repositions the offset of open file associated with its file descriptor and the argument offset according to the directive name. The return value upon successful completion, L6 returns the resulting offset location as measured in byte from the beginning of the, and error number is set to indicate the error. The next system call is listen. Listen, it is used to listen the connection on socket. Its take argument as a socket and backlog. To accept connection, a socket is first created with socket and its willingness to accept incoming connection and quiet limit for incoming are specified with listen. Accepting connection from socket, this system call is required. Return value of this on success is return 0, otherwise it returns -1 and error number set appropriate. The mount system call. Mount system call mount the file system and it takes argument source, target, and mount attaches the file system specified by source to the directory of file system type. It may Minix, ext2 or ms-DOS or source. The return value of this on success is return 0, on error is returns -1. The mkdir system call. This system call is used to make a directory. It takes argument as a path name and mode. mkdir attempt to create a directory name path name The parameter mode specifies the permission to us. Return value of this system call mkdir returns 0 on success and -1 if error occurs. The open system call open and possibly create a file. The open system call takes argument as the path name and flag, another character path name, flag and mode. Given a path name for a file, open return a file descriptor as small and non-negative integer for use in subsequent system call is read, write, else, seek. The return value of this, on success it will return the file descriptor and on error it will return the -1. The read system call, it's read the file descriptor and the argument is file descriptor, buffer size and count. The read attempts read of the count bytes from file descriptor into the buffer starting at buffer. If count 0, read return 0 and has no other result. If count is greater than size, then its result is unspecified. The return value of read is on success it will return the number of bytes read and the file position. On error, read returns the -1 value. Rename system call. The rename system call it changes the name or location of file. The rename system call takes arguments as a old path and new path and rename a file, moving in between directories if required. If new path already exists, it will automatically replace. The return value of this, on success 0 is returned, on error -4 return and error number is set to appropriate. The next is RMDIR. The RMDIR this system called delete a directory. It will take argument as a path name. RMDIR deletes a directory which must be empty. And the return value of RMDIR is on success the result it returns the 0 and on error it returns -1 and error number is set appropriately.